Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the pre-war of Grand Tactician. This is before the war. And this campaign now, I'm gonna do everything on screen. What takes place on the campaign map, you're going to see. What takes place on the battlefield, you're going to see. I'm gonna do the whole campaign on screen. Now, the beginning might be a little bit boring, but the reason why I'm recording the beginning is because I want to, during the pre-war, explain how this game works. I gotta get my timer. So anyways, during the pre-war, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna explain how this game works. For what I understand, farms not only give you food, but in the long run, give you more volunteers for that state. Now, one of the crucial areas is policies. Most YouTubers, such as myself and the bigger names that play this game, we do one policy at a time. And the reason for that is because the more policies you do at one time, the longer they take to get done. This is your economics tree right here. This is your trade tree essentially. And this is your industry trade. You'll see that this game is broken up into chapters. Because when the game reaches a certain date, it will begin a new chapter and it will tell you the historical facts with a video of that time frame of the Civil War that you were in. I'm working on industry right now because that's what the Confederates lack. Big time. Now, another page that we need to visit is your funding page, your economics page. Okay? This breaks down your nation's funding. Okay? And what's going where. You have 5 million going to military, 5 million going to industry, 5 million going to agriculture, etc., etc. But, this essentially, you play Hearts of Iron, is your tech tree. This allows you to upgrade and unlock new military technologies, etc., and upgrade the projects that you already have. Every level in which a project goes up, a few of them you can only get once. But a lot of these you can get more than once. And every level that you go up increases the output of that policy by a certain percentage. The first time you upgrade a policy, it's 5%. The second time it's 10%, etc. So from what I understand, this increases by 5% each time. We will be visiting this screen quite a bit during the war. This is your federal building slot, okay? I would say the most crucial of these buildings is the hospital. Maybe it's banks once you get the tech to do it. But also markets can be useful as well. Prison camps, you want those. Military academies, you have to have certain military tech to get those. What that does is it allows you to have better officers to command your armies. And I would say the most crucial of your buildings is actually these industry buildings and agriculture buildings. Now you'll see that this right here is filling up. That's the subsidy for agriculture filling up. Okay? Once this gets to here, all the way up, you have a choice to make. You can put it into a policy, or a project I should say, or you can put another one of these buildings in for absolutely free, and it will not affect your credit rating at all. This is your credit rating. Okay? Once this goes below a B, you cannot construct anything else. You can't even recruit it because the Confederate Congress, in this case because I'm playing as the South, will freeze recruitment and construction. So you have to watch the credit rating very, very carefully. This is how many men we have in the military as of right now. It's the recruitment page. That's enough for that. Now, one of the things that the South excels in is cotton production. That's what plantations are. If you want to make some serious money, you put plantations in. but you don't want to overtax your economy so it collapses. So again, you want to watch that credit rating. Now, the way this works, let me show you how this works. Now, it's going to be different for each building. Come on, let me do this. Now, you'll see that in the case of a plantation, there's fertility levels. It is the same with the farms. You want to get the highest amount of fertility level before you place something. Okay? You also want to get the land for as cheap as possible. Not your top number, then you watch the fertility for each crop. Now for the south, you want to focus on cotton. So make sure you have that cotton fertility very, very high before you drop it. Also pay attention to the workforce. What am I forgetting? Also, another thing about these, okay? Once this, I'm going to tell you about the military specifically here. Once these subsidies get to this point, or however long this is, for each thing, you can put the money you saved up for that into that project. For example, if I want my factories to produce basic artillery, I would have to wait until this fills all the way up. And when it does, it's going to have a magnifying glass right here. And then you would click right here, and then I would be able to start to produce basic artillery. Now, as you go down the line, there are different weapons you can unlock. Now, when you put into, this is your military tech, basically, and this is your civ tech. I think that part is self-explanatory. But as you go down the line, there are different military techs. They all do different things. I'm going to focus on the Army tech, because that's the most crucial. Now, in terms of diplomacy, go up to where it has okay, where's Liam Field? Well, not Liam Field, but okay. Say I want the British. I want to buy guns from the British. I would have to fill this all the way up and then click that, and I would be able to buy weapons from the British. And they would come in after so many days so I can give them to my Confederate soldiers. Now, the only weapon that I have had imported personally is the Austrian rifle. Now, it is not the greatest piece of equipment. I will be honest with you right now. But if there's one thing that the Confederacy lacks big time, it's rifles. Okay? So, one of the easiest ways to get an adequate number of rifles for the Confederacy is to import weapons. Okay? At least until you get your industry to a certain point. Which reminds me, I have to go back to the building tab and explain each one. This increases your construction speed, I'm pretty sure. Foundries cast copper and iron so you can make cannons. The ironworks make rifles and cannons at the ironworks. Okay, but you might say the foundries cast the barrel for the cannons, I'm pretty sure. Lumber mills, great source of income. Factories, they have their benefits, but they're not, I don't think they're exactly crucial. Mills, you want to build next to a river. That's when you're going to get the most out of it. Very, very close to a river. They make flour and things for bread. That's why they count as agriculture. These factories actually make canned food, etc., etc. Okay? But that is not exactly required. It is a good source of income, I will tell you that. And then there's also railroads. The ones with the green dots here, the most crucial railroads will have the most green dots, but the ones with the green dots you can build. Careful though, because you do not want to overtax your economics using railroads, building railroads. Okay? But what railroads do is they allow you to transport troops very, very, very fast. Okay? I think it's time to get into the recruitment here, stage of the game here. So if you look, Beauregard has 1,527 troops. He has 56 disabled, which means he has 56 people that would and/or be in the hospital. Okay, the way you accelerate the recovery of those troops is you build hospitals. Okay, that's why those are crucial. If you do not have those, sometimes your disabled will just continue to grow. So make sure you have those. Otherwise, let's see here. First off, weapons. This is the weapons catalog. You want to turn off the auto management weapons. because otherwise Congress will order the weapons for you. You want to have the best weapons available in your armies. Now you will see that it says not produced, okay? Which means you have to get the subsidy or tech thing to start producing that. Once you do get that, what you can do is start to place orders for this specific weapon. And it's the same thing for each weapon on the catalog here. The one thing you do not want to order is these. These are Revolutionary War muskets. They are pretty much useless. This is along the same lines, but I can order them, okay? But I can only order so many because the production is ceased. It's obsolete, but it is better than this, okay? So, if you can help it, do not recruit troops with this weapon. I'm gonna forget. As far as the army is concerned, when you recruit, I'm gonna bring that tab up real quick. So, let's just say I took over Pennsylvania. Okay, actually, I'm just gonna go to South Carolina. If I go to South Carolina, you'll see that there's 519 recruits. Okay? But each regiment currently in the pre-war requires at most 750 recruits. Okay? And at least 300. So you have to at least have in between these three amounts for it to be recruitable. Now, when you do recruit a unit, this is an artillery battery. Okay? The basic artillery battery is pulled by horses. However, it is mostly pushed by men. Okay? The horses only help. Once you get a certain subsidy, which you will see me get, you can get artillery battery that is horse-drawn. This is very, very fast, deployable artillery. Okay? The horses do most of the work. There is men pushing it, but they do most of the work. So it is very, very fast, deployable artillery. Now, as far as the recruitment goes, click these tabs. Okay. And you can change the uniforms. For example, if I want them to look like a Union regiment, I can straight up do that. Okay? It looks even more so with a straight up regiment, not an artillery battery. You can see the red on that. But what I do is I typically keep everything Confederate gray, period. I don't usually do that. Now, when you do recruit, you're going to start with a 6-pounder each time. Now, for a infantry unit, you're going to start with mixed muskets, which is the lowest grade weapon you can ever get in the game for infantry. The 6-pounder is the same thing for the artillery. Now for the cavalry, it is mixed cavalry units, cavalry weapons. Essentially they use shotguns, okay? So if I want to upgrade that, pay attention to each thing. I'll tell you the range and the shots per minute, etc., and the cost. We're gonna upgrade them with 24-pounder howitzers. Now, the thing about the recruitment, these guys don't show up instantly, boys. Okay, you actually have to wait for them to come in. So be careful when you recruit and where you recruit. Always recruit in the state that you are in with that particular army if you can. If not, do it from a neighboring state. If you have to, pull from far away. But what I will tell you is this. Once you do that, you have a certain amount of days. You have to wait. You cannot move. If you move while you're waiting, it will freeze the waiting time. So I have to wait for 37 days for these troops to get in stationary. If I move, it will not be like that. It will freeze at the latest day that you are in when you move. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to show you the infantry stuff. Well, the naval stuff, I mean. Because I don't use it. I don't use it very often, so I'm not going to show you that. Probably should, just in case you guys do want to do that. Okay. You don't have any navies. So when the war kicks off, I will briefly explain that. Briefly. I'm not going to go too much into detail about that like I've been doing with the other stuff. Now you'll see that there's different amounts of stars on the stuff that's already built. You can upgrade them to do better. And the third level is always the highest. In terms of industry and agriculture, the industry and agriculture, when you reach the highest level, the third level and final level, they will make you the most profit. that way. But be careful, because again, you can overtax your economics and make it crash. Okay? And so do not upgrade too much. Let your economics go back up for a little bit before you upgrade something. Because each time you upgrade, the more money it costs you to upgrade. But in the long run, it will make you more money, it will make you more resources, etc., etc. If you make a field hospital to the 3rd level, it will be at its maximum capability medically. It will take care of your men the best way. But keep in mind, you have to be within proximity of the hospital. Prison camps work the same way. Let's see here. Prison camps allow you to hold prisoners after a battle. Okay? I will be building a few of these, but I'm not going to go whole hog on them. Again, the 3rd level, highest capacity allowed. That pretty much explains the game in great detail, honestly. I try not to leave anything out, but if you go on YouTube and someone else explains this a little bit better than I did, more power to you. But that's my tutorial video. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Civil War Tactician.